welcome to the call, everybody. Introduce myself. I'm Heidi Tyler, and I am a Clear Belief coach. And introduce yourself, Danny.
I'm Danny Glazer, and I am a certified life book leader, and I do a lot of things. So I haven't figured out how to quite describe myself in a few words.
That's quite all right. Okay. So what we're going to cover in the event is taking you through just an introduction about beliefs and what they are, and choosing where to focus on what beliefs that you want to uncover, exploring them, uncovering, understanding and creating new ones. Danny will take us through a meditation to embody a belief. And then I'll just briefly cover if you want to go deeper into uncovering and overcoming beliefs and getting rid of them and replacing them at a deeper level. We'll cover that towards the end. Just to really highlight here, Explore Your Beliefs is under copyright by Lion Goodman, who was my trainer for Clear Belief coaching, and I'm using this with permission. The process is an enabler, as I said, for the more in-depth belief clearing work, which I'll explain later on. If you'd like a copy of the free ebook, which covers the Exploring Your Beliefs, then you can put your email address into the chat and we'll send that out to you. Okay. So what are they? What actually are beliefs? Well, there's many theories, and are they true? Well, yes, if you believe that, and no, if you don't, because it's simply your perspective, and your consciousness will take its shape and it will decide what it holds to be true and what it holds not to be true. So you can read whatever theories you like around beliefs, and whatever resonates with you is your belief, quite simply put. So here's what I've learned and what I hold true. So we get beliefs formed in order for us to survive, and our beliefs start when we're in the womb and maybe even into past lives. And I am a past life believer, and I have brought some of my beliefs from my past lives into this life. And as a baby in the womb, you're already starting to form beliefs in order to survive when you come into the world. And they're the building blocks of our experience. So we build beliefs in response to an experience. So you'll have belief patterns that you've inherited from parents, from family, from friends, from people that you've worked with, and you're just building those and creating them as you're going through life. And every interaction that you have creates an experience, and with that experience comes the belief patterns, and they continue right into our adult life, and we're constantly creating and building more and more beliefs about the world around us and what's going on. And they're getting stored in our subconscious mind. And with that becomes a layering effect. So it's a bit like you're shunting down the beliefs that you had in the early years, and you're building new ones on top. And you just keep pushing those down, because we don't have the delete button. We don't have the, oh, let me just get rid of this lot that I don't want anymore, because they're part of who we are. And they get stored in layers, networks, clusters, and they stick together and reinforce each other. So if something's happened and you believe something, and something comes along that's similar, then it will attach itself to that. And it says, oh, I like that. Yes, I'll put that with that one. And you get this layering effect. So they're not easy to unravel or change. And every belief has its own experience. So it has an identity. So the experiencer, so ourselves, we're part of that experience, as part of that definition, if you like. It has a point of view, so its perspective. It has its content, the information, the sensations, the feelings that all go with that belief. And it also has meaning that we've added to it as the experiencer. So suddenly we've created this whole belief system, and including our interpretation and our conclusions. So when we put attention on something, we perceive it, and our awareness, we create the experience, and it gets stored. So our beliefs, every limiting and negative one, provides us with familiarity, safety, security, and belonging. And we've got tens of thousands of beliefs. So which ones do you want to remove? Do you actually know what all the limiting beliefs are that you've got stored somewhere in your subconscious over however many years you've been on the planet? So which ones do you want? Which ones don't you want? And that becomes the hard part of unraveling. And I said it wasn't easy to unravel or change, but it also means that you can. So beliefs also create sensations, feelings, attitudes, limitations, and decisions. And even a belief that perhaps we don't want might make us take a decision or make a decision that's actually not something we want to do, but it feels safe to do it. So Danny and I are just going to take you through an example here. We're at the same event and we're having an experience, and our reality is different because our respective beliefs are different. So here's an example. So Danny and I went to an event. We went into a large field. It was a sunny day. It was a clear blue sky, and there were approximately 100 people there. Do we agree, Danny?
Yes.
Good. So I saw a child with their mouth wide open and a look of complete surprise. I worried if anyone had noticed that they were hungry. What if someone had taken their food away? Who was taking care of them? What if no one was? I remembered being left on my own when I was small. I dropped my food and no one had noticed. I was very hungry. I could feel all this emotion come flooding back. My experience now had turned to frustration and tears. There was more to the emotion. What was it and why?
So looking at the same child, I see a child with their mouth wide open, but they're filled with joy and excitement about a puppet show that's being performed a short distance away, and the puppeteers fully engaging the young children. And he had a puppet and he was talking and he kept making the puppet disappear and reappear, and the child was so delighted to be watching this. I was caught up in the fun of the experience. I loved puppets as a young child, and so my experience of fun and play got reinforced.
But only the child knows what they were feeling and why, and only they know their own core beliefs, but not always why they've got the belief. Because beliefs are like the inventory of your mind. They're stored in your conscious, your subconscious, your superconscious, your higher self, the whole experience. That child knows what their experience was and how they were feeling. They may not know and attribute to that experience until later on in life how and what that gave them as a stored belief. But it has been stored. So back in 2019, I wrote a book called A Mixture of Feelings, and I simply let beliefs flow out of my head onto paper in that book. And there's about 3 pages worth of beliefs. And there wasn't a category or a topic or subject in sight in my book. And looking back, I actually can see, reading through my own book, how chaotic and haphazard that was. Don't get me wrong, allowing myself to capture so many allowed me to actually release some of them and replace them with some more positive ways of thinking. And that was hugely beneficial. And for some, it did give me that structure. But for some of it didn't. I didn't get to digging deeper and really understanding what the beliefs were and why. And one particular one was, I'm stupid, which I simplistically in my book rewrote to, I'm bright and intelligent. Seems perfectly plausible. And I'll go into that one later on because it resurrected itself literally in this last sort of year. But going into the beliefs from a topic perspective allowed me to focus on core topics where I was facing blockages and barriers in moving forward. And mine were very much centered around things like work, finances, family, and success. And I had some beliefs that were stopping me. And I wasn't moving forward in ways that I wanted to. And you can choose just a few like I did, or you could have a lot of beliefs to uncover, and you could work your way through every single one of these categories or topics that's shown on the list here. And if you're in Lifebook as a community, you could choose the 12 categories of Lifebook and even break those down into sort of sub-subjects as well.
So for this session, what we'd like for you to do is pick just one topic. where you have some blockages and perhaps some resistance. So if you have a journal, or if you want to, take time to type this up, you want to write down the topic name. So you can either out loud or in your head ask yourself, something I believe about my abilities, or your topic is. So it could be something I believe about myself is, something I believe about my career is, something I believe about my relationship is. And the key is to listen to your mind's first response to the question. So something I believe about whatever it is, and then you write down what that belief is. And you can have, more than one, see how many you can come up with, and just be open, see what comes up, and listen for the voice or the automatic internal response to the statement. So you write down whatever comes up as an answer, and then you just keep saying the phrase again. So like the next one would be, something else I believe about my career, my relationship, myself is, and then you write down whatever comes up next, and you just keep doing this and repeating it again and again. So we're going to give you, was that 5 minutes to do this, Heidi?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
So I will set the timer.
So choose yourself a subject and just explore.
Yeah.
And uncover what comes up for you. And don't judge the answers that pop up into your mind, and don't argue with yourself either, or don't censor the ideas, even if they're unpleasant. Allow them to appear and present themselves, whatever they are. Honor the thoughts that are coming up for you, and even if they sound absurd or strange. And if you have a thought that says, I don't believe that, write that down as well. Just let your thoughts flow and just keep recording what's coming up.
I think it's important to mention too, you might have positive thoughts and negative thoughts as well. So it's just about, right now, we're just getting them out of the head and onto the screen or onto paper. That's the halfway point. So we've got about a minute left. Just keep going until you feel complete or we run out of time. And you can always come back and do this. This is just for now. We're given about 5 minutes. All righty.
Okay. So going through all the beliefs that you wrote down, notice how many of them have a negative charge for you. And if you were to pick one or two with the most negative charge, just like you to write down next to one or two of those answers to the following questions. Has this belief been of benefit or detrimental to me? Who gave you the belief? Was it something you were taught? If so, who by? Did you ever consciously choose to believe it? And if you did, when was that and why? What advantage has this belief given you? Or what have you gained by having it? What did you avoid by having it? How's the belief served you in your life? What would be different if you didn't have this belief? What could you do? Is it a belief that you'd like to delete? Replace it? Something positive, empowering. And choose one. Choose one or two that you'd like to delete, change, or transform. There might be more than one or two. But it's about understanding what beliefs you want to hold on to and what you want to let go of. So just take a few minutes to go through what you've written down and just explore and understand how and where that belief came from. Okay. Danny, do you want to take us through the next part? When she can unmute.
If I can unmute, yeah. Okay, so from these beliefs that you've listed, we want you to look at your number one negative belief. So the one that really, just doesn't make you feel good. What would you like to believe instead? So a good place to start is the opposite of the belief. So if you can enhance the new beliefs that feel, you can enhance the new beliefs that feel totally supportive and positive. So with something that feels positive to your body, mind, and life. So for example, if we hold the old belief that I am not loved, you could replace it with I am loved. But what would it feel to believe something along the lines of, I receive the power of love from the universe and from all of the people that I respect and admire? Or what if you created the belief, I am love? So you have the power to choose your own beliefs, and you might as well choose the most empowering, enlightening beliefs that you can come up with. So every belief produces a specific feeling and experience. So you can actually try on the new belief as if you're, trying on a new outfit, and just see what it feels like. You can, just say it out loud. And if it feels like, what would it feel like to believe that belief, like 100%? If it was 100% true, how do you think you would feel? So you can keep modifying it to make it even better. And then you can try on the new version to see how it feels, and keep working with that belief until when you try it on, it's like, wow, this feels really, really good. So another way to discover your ideal replacement belief would be, you can ask yourself, what experience do I want to have in this part of my life? So you can imagine having that experience and feeling that wonderful feeling as if it's happening right now. And then you can ask yourself, what would someone have to believe in order to create the experience? So the answer to that question might be the belief that you're looking for. So basically, you're taking that belief that doesn't make you feel very good, that the one that you have, like what would you say, Heidi? How, it's almost a really intense reaction to.
It's a real negative, intense reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to rewrite that. You can start with the opposite, or just start with something, and then you can always add to it, is basically what we're going to be doing. So we're going to give you about 5 minutes and really explore to figure out, what do you want to have? What belief would you like to replace that old belief with? And then if you have anything to add, Heidi.
I'm just going to say, I'm actually doing this myself as we're doing this session, because one of the big issues that's come up for me recently is the fact that I love sweet food, and it's my number one negative trigger right now, because I don't want to love sweet food. And I've just literally written my new empowering belief. I love nature's natural sweetness and do not succumb to the fakery of man's sugar.
Wow.
And that's how I want to replace this. I love sweet food. I want to stick with nature, nature's sweetness, and not the fakery. It's about something that says, yeah, wow, I believe, there's something I want to believe. I want to instill that. And I may well tweak that a little bit more before we get to the end of the session. But that's...
So we'll check back in and see what belief Heidi has come up with. I think the key is too, when you are rewriting a belief, you know, we've talked about this on previous calls before. Words are power. So the words that you choose can make a real difference in how you feel.
Yeah.
And I'd like to invite, if anybody is comfortable sharing their written beliefs in the chat to inspire others, please do.
Yeah. Yes, Ramona, man sugars are addictive. Yeah.
All righty. So does everybody have, it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, we're all about progress, not perfection. But if you have your belief, you don't have to, if you don't want to share it, that's fine. But if you at least have it, let us know. And then we have a really fun activity that we're going to do with it next.
Beautiful, Marit. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are
I did subtly change mine. I don't need to succumb to the fakery of man's sugar. I love nature's own sweetness.
That's good. I did not do the activity during this, but I have done it previously.
Beautiful. Natalie.
Oh, these are some great
Yeah.
ones.
Absolutely, Ramona.
So we're just going to work on the one belief right now.
Yeah.
So we just want you to work on one because you'll need this for the next activity. Do you want to just move on, Heidi? We've gotten a couple.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. It's like you're in charge of slides.
I am. For some reason it's not moving. I don't know why. There we go. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we're going to get ready to do a meditation visualization, which is we're going to think about that belief, that new belief that you have created. And you can access it. There's a link on the slide where you can actually access this. We have a recording of it that you can use at any time. And the cool thing about this, the cool thing about this meditation is that you can use it over and over again. So if you change it, it's okay. Like if it's not the perfect thing right now, that's all right. Just use what you've come up with. So take a moment to just settle into your seat. Feel your feet on the ground. And I just want to remind everybody that if you aren't in control of your own beliefs, then your beliefs are in control of you. So part of this exercise that we're doing is to show you that you know we have a lot more power over what we think than we give ourselves credit for, I think. All right, so settle into the chair. Take a deep breath in. Let it go all the way down to your toes. And as you exhale, just let your breath grab onto any stress or tension and just release it. So inhale in. Feel the breath go in. Let that breath grab onto any stress or tension in your body. Exhale and release. Take another inhale in. Grab onto any stress or tension with that breath and release. And just let yourself feel settled. Let your body center. Feel your body being supported by the ground or a chair or wherever you're seated. And bring your attention to the bottom of your feet. Just notice your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your knees, your thighs, your hips. Feel your belly. Sense your chest, your back. Take a moment to check in with your shoulders, your arms, and your fingers. Bring your attention to the palm of your hands. And just remember to breathe. Inhale. Exhale, release. Become aware of your neck, your chin, your cheeks, your ears, your nose and your eyes, and gradually bring your focus to the top of your head. And just breathe. When we are seated and when we close our eyes, it makes the experience a lot more centered and intense. So we just took time to really get centered with our body. Take in another breath. Exhale, release. And as you just take a moment to just focus on all of your body, bring that attention to the very top of your head. And just imagine if the top of your head is surrounded by white, fluffy clouds. And as you look closer, maybe these clouds continue to just envelop, and maybe you step into these clouds. You feel a sense of safety. You are completely safe, and you are entering a space of your imagination. So take time to walk through the clouds and make note of what you see around you. What are you feeling? What do you hear? Do you smell anything? Do you taste anything? Envision your new belief before you. Say it out loud to yourself. See the words as though they're written out. And then let that belief just sort of turn into energy and just wrap around you so that you can really feel it. Maybe it's like a big comfy blanket. Just let it just wrap around and embrace you. And how do you feel? How does that belief feel? Just take a moment, let that feeling expand, and feel the power of this new belief, and feel empowered by this new belief that you have created. What experience do you want to have in this part of your life? Imagine that you are having that experience. So you have this belief. What would you like to experience as a result? And how would that feel to you? It could be something simple. But feel it. Let yourself feel all the wonderful feelings that you're feeling as a result of this belief. What do you believe about yourself in this experience? Who are you now as a result of this belief? Let yourself really feel it. Hold it. Imagine it. Imagine it being encoded into your DNA. And feel your body respond to this. Feel your body light up. Just take a moment to express that, express and embrace that feeling. That positivity, that charge that comes with it. If you want to say the belief to yourself again, you can, or just hold on to that feeling. And just sit with that feeling. And when you're ready, you can walk back through the clouds and sense the top of your head again. Just focus your attention on the top of your head. Bring your attention to your face. Bring it into your neck, your shoulders, your arms, palms of your hands. Coming back into connection with your body, your chest, your belly, your back, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins and calf muscles, your ankles, and feel your feet back on the floor again. Take a moment to just put your hands on your heart and connect with your body and ask yourself, how do you feel now? Inhale, exhale and release. Be aware of your body. Maybe wiggle your toes. Gently sway your body back and forth. Now, if you aren't feeling it, or you feel that there is more to experience as a result of this, remember, you just created this new belief a few moments ago. So you can always go back and you can repeat this. And you can find something that feels a little more how you want to feel. So it is completely okay to come up with something more empowering. And it is completely okay to have an experience that maybe you know, whatever your experience is, that's what you're meant to have. So when you're ready, just gently open your eyes.
Thank you, Danny. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, actually. I spent my time, once I'd walked through the clouds, actually traipsing on all of the packaging of the fakery of sugar that gets created for the food that's in the supermarkets. And once I traipsed through and trampled on all of that, I got through to nature's own richness.
I love that.
Which was, that felt amazing, because suddenly I actually realized that this had taken me on another level, because taken away from the packaging, the plastic and everything that goes with the fakery of sugar. So I love creative visualization. So that was brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So our closing thought is about valuing yourself more than your limitations from the past, because that's what negative beliefs are. They're limitations from the past. It's what you had. It isn't what you have to go forward with. But of course, you may have created a new empowering belief and then still be sitting there thinking, yes, but I'm stuck because I've still got some of this limitation. And we've not gone into getting rid of beliefs. It's something that I would not feel confident to do that as a group session. I am qualified to do that on an individual basis, and do that on an individual basis. So really it's about, if it's about getting to where you want to be with your beliefs. And the fact that when you delete an old belief from your psyche, you create a space and a place. So it's an opening for something new. So we've started to explore the creating something new, but you may need to be getting rid of that old belief in order to create that space. And creating space by getting rid of old negative limiting beliefs allows you to install new positive ones. And if you don't fill the space with something new, like the new empowering belief that you've just gone through for yourself, then actually the old belief can sneak back in and it just fills the space again. And I found that, funnily enough, with one of the beliefs that I've mentioned earlier. I mentioned at the beginning about a belief of I am stupid. And as I went through Lions training, I had to dig deep on some of my own limitations, and I was experiencing a couple in my career life, and I dug deeper, and two, in fact, and it took me at one point through varying processes, I got to a black hole, which turned out to not be a black hole. It turned out to me being unconscious at the age of 18 months of age. And through a second journey of different processes, I uncovered a limiting belief. And my subconscious has heard a neighbor who'd found me unconscious at 18 months and had probably said, oh, I'm so stupid. If I'd been here a few minutes earlier, this would never have happened, because I was actually on my own and I'd hit my head on the floor and fractured my skull. And I'd taken on the belief I am stupid because my subconscious had heard that as part of that whole experience. And uncovering it meant I'd actually taken on a belief that was never mine. And uncovering that has actually allowed me to go on and do things now that I've been in limitation for 60 years. 59 if you want to take off the year at the beginning. But it's about understanding what's underneath the beliefs that we've got. So where there's struggle, you can actually have ease. Where there's confusion, you can get clarity. Where you've got barriers, you can get freedom and opportunity. And that's what uncovering beliefs is all about. So there is a 7-step process, or there's individual processes, and there's various ways that this can be done. But if you do want to go deeper on a particular belief or set of beliefs, then you can contact me directly. And that's at the bottom there, my email address. You can send me an email, or you can drop me a message in the chat if you want to contact me. There's equally, if anybody is interested in Lion Goodman's coaching program for belief clearing, and I know there's a couple on the call here today that have either done it or are going through it right now, which is brilliant and amazing. It is truly life-changing, even as a coach, or to become a coach, and then to go on to help other people. So if you're interested in that, do let me know, and I can put you in the right direction for that. So is there any questions, thoughts, shares, or feedback?